Welcome back, behavioral scientists. Just a reminder, this is just a commentary, and it's pointing out very objective behavior observations when someone has later been caught lying or being less than honest and convicted of a crime. So these behaviors are associated with dishonesty, and my position on this is the more that you can be educated on patterns of dishonesty, the more astute you can be with behavior observations.
It's so nice to finally see you. This is crazy.
Are you nervous?
Yeah, I'm really nervous.
Why?
I don't know, I've never done this. Have you?
No.
So what do you want to do?
A hug?
I don't know.
All right, so this pervert goes in for a hug, and she's smart enough to exit the room. And I love how Chris Hansen pops out of the room and says, "Hey, boo."
Hey, boo.
Hey.
There's a seat right around that stool right there front.
And the only credit I can really give to this guy is the fact that he follows Chris Hansen's directions when he's told to have a seat. You would think he would just run out of the room, but he sits down and then he says, put your phone down, and he follows directions and puts his phone down. Chris Hansen has this down to a science, and he's got these guys eating out of the palm of his hand when it comes to following his directions.
What is your plan here tonight?
Just hang out, watch football?
Hang out and watch football with whom?
With her.
Who's her?
With Bailey.
And do you know how old Bailey is?
She's 14.
14.
Mm-hmm.
So when Chris Hansen asks, "So what is your plan here tonight?" you see this guy, his eyes shift to the right and he looks away as he's trying to think of an answer that's a lie.
Just hang out, watch football?
Hang out and watch football with whom?
With her.
Who's her?
With Bailey.
And do you know how old Bailey is?
She's 14.
14.
Mm-hmm.
She told you she's 13. Not that that matters.
Mm-hmm.
How old are you?
30.
30.
Dupay is lying. We both know he's really 40.
This molester says, "We were just talking," and he shakes his head from left to right, which is incongruent with just talking. So he's shaking his head as though he's saying no, but his intention was to explain that, yes, I was just talking. But as you can see by shaking his head left to right, his intention was not to just talk.
So you say to Bailey, on a whisper, that you're 30, how old are you? She says 13. You say, you're not 13 in that pic? Yes, I'll be 14 next month.
If you notice,
That's pretty clear.
this guy crosses his arms and leans back, which is indicative of a protective kind of defensive position.
Why don't you just tell me what you were really up to?
Just to hang out, get to know her,
Get to know her.
Yeah.
And if you were the parent of a 13-year-old girl, would you be comfortable with that?
At this point, you can see this creep start to sweat. You see the beads of sweat start to form on the upper right-hand side of his forehead, which is indicative of a symptom of lying.
Now, you talked about spending the night here tonight.
And now you can notice this guy actually sweating so much he has to wipe the sweat off of his forehead.
All I was doing was just coming here to watch the game.
You tried to solicit a 13-year-old girl online using graphic sexual language.
As you can see, he's got another incongruent head shake. He's shaking his head left to right as if he was saying, no, it's not true. Instead of nodding his head up and down, saying that all I was going to do was watch the game, he was actually shaking his head, which is incongruent. Now notice that he swallows, a very heavy swallow, which is also indication that someone's uncomfortable. His heart rate is beating heavily by looking at his neck. You can see his carotid artery pulsing at a very high rate.
In the interrogation room, he cries as he signs away his right to remain silent. His forehead is wrinkled with worry as he's about to speak to detectives.
And here we see him finally totally busted. And he looks like he's going to cry, sad face, and his forehead's very wrinkled. Behavioral scientists, thanks again for watching, and if you liked it, please subscribe to our channel and hit the subscribe button, hit the bell for further notifications, and click the thumbs up button if you'd like.